morning. Hello. Good morning. Morning. Hello. Good morning. Glad to meet you. How are you today?
Fine. A little bit cold, but I'm okay. Thank you.
Any problems arriving here?
Not really the traffic, but not so heavy, so I could arrive with any problem.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. This is Engineer Carlos Alejandro Nava. I am the linguistic evaluator, and I'm here joined by Lieutenant Colonel Fernando, who is the operational evaluator. And together today we are going to conduct your linguistic competence evaluation according to the ICAO standards. So before we begin, please show us your ID card and your license to verify your identity, please. Okay. All right. So now, briefly, I will explain the parts and the tasks that this evaluation has. In part number 1, we will have an interview where we are going to have a conversation and you have to express yourself in the best aeronautical English possible regarding aviation topics. In part number 2, we will give you context related to images and audios, and we will ask you to describe the situation stated in the context. In the images section, we will show you 2 or 3 images and then the context for each picture, asking you to respond to that context according to the image's content. In the audios section, you will listen to 3 audios. In the first 2, English in the aeronautical context, and also real English radio communication audio. You will be asked to say what you understood, and you're allowed to take notes. We are going to provide you with a sheet of paper for that regard. In the third audio, you will listen an ADC contact a pilot, and you will be asked to respond as if you did it in real life. In this part, since it's a role play section, no notes are necessary, okay? So, do you have any questions before we begin?
No, it's clear.
Please, if in any part of the test you have a question or a doubt, please let us know anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we are going to begin with part number 1, the interview. So please, Lieutenant Colonel, you can proceed with the first question.
Good morning, sir. Okay, my first question is something about your background, your operational background.
Well, as most of the pilot, I started flying Cessna 206 and then 210, gaining experience first in the flight school, and then I obtained my private pilot license. I flew like 1,000 hours in command of the 210, and as soon as I got the necessary experience, I started my commercial pilot training and obtaining my license. I'm starting to fly BA 146-200. I flew as second in command for 500 hours maybe, and then started to train as pilot in command, obtaining my license in 2014, and I have 3,000 flight hours in command of the BA 146-200. In the last 3 years, I've been flying a variation of the BA 146, which is the Avro-70, both of them British aerospace industry, and now that's the aircraft I'm flying.
Okay. So after finishing with the questions, we are ready to go to part number 2, situations. Let's begin with the images. As I told you before, I will show you an image and I will state the situation, and you will have to describe the situation according to the image. Okay, very good. So please look at the TV, and here we have the image. Please let me adjust the zoom All right, so as you can see, this is an airport, and you are the pilot who is approaching this airport. What factors do you see or might consider in order to have a safe landing?
Well, as I can see in the picture, there is fog on the airport and on the runway. Well, I don't know if the airport is closed or is operational. Of course, when I ask permission to land, the ATC of the station is going to warn me of any situation, and if the visibility factors and operational factors are above the minimum, the ATC will approve my landing. But in that situation, I would consider the visibility. I would make sure that my second in command pilot sees the runway as well as I do it. And in any case we don't have a good visibility for the landing, I would ask the ATC to turn on the lights. And of course, together with my second in command pilot, I would make sure that my glide slope it's precise in order to reach and touch the runway in the precise moment. After landing, I would make sure if the runway is wet with water, make sure to not to step on the brakes and just make a smooth brake. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much. So now we are going to continue with the audios. I will play the first audio, and as I explained before, it's going to be an aviation and English situation that you will have to listen, and when it finishes, you will have to tell us what you understood. So, as I explained, you are allowed to take notes, so please make sure to listen carefully, and maybe you can write any information that you think is important, okay? Very nice. So, let's begin with the audio. Remember that we are going to play the audio only once, so that's the reason that you can take notes. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's begin with audio 1.
Last story this week is Emirates Airline is looking to retire their A380. We talked about this a while back, but now they want to recycle these aircraft. And as you can imagine, recycling an aircraft of this size is not necessarily environmentally friendly. And so they're trying to do this in an environmental way with the least impact. And they had planned to retire all of these aircraft eventually. They're still going to use some of them until at least 2035, but the parts that they're using from the older ones are going to go into the ones that are still flying and then continue operating doing that. And the company doing this is called Falcon Aircraft Recycling. They'll break down the aircraft into usable parts and even some souvenirs. So if you want a piece of A380 memorabilia, this is the time to do it. They say that the director of Falcon said that 190 metric tons of material is going to be recycled. That's a lot of metric tons.
All right, so that was audio number 1. So please tell us what you understood about the audio.
Emirates Airline, that's what I listened, is going to change its fleet, and they want to recycle Airbus 380. And they want to recycle as friendly as they can with the environment. Of course, and they say that recycling such a big aircraft is not easy, but they are going to do it hiring a company. The company is going to disassemble the part of the fleet and use these parts for the aircraft still flying. Besides, they are going to sell souvenirs of the aircraft. So if anybody wants to have a part of the Airbus 380 can then buy it from this company. Finally, the person in the audio says that more or less 190 metric tons of material is going to be disassembled from this aircraft. That's it.
Okay. Any additional questions for the candidate, Lieutenant Colonel?
Do you know the name of that company, which is hired by Emirates?
Oh no, I didn't listen to the name of the company.
Thank you.
Okay. So now I think that we can proceed with the role play section. We are going to explain you the situation, and you have to perform as if you were in that situation in real life. Okay, so this is what happens. You had a long taxi time before taking off. Due to traffic, the ADC asked you to hold for 45 minutes before actually taking off. In the way, you encountered bad weather and headwinds that delayed your flight. The traffic is awful at your destination airport. You are ready to land. You ask permission to land to the ADC. Okay, so you're gonna perform this role play with the Lieutenant Colonel, and since you're the pilot, you can start with the role play, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, La Paz Station, Charlie Papa 123, ready to land, request permission to do so.
Charlie Papa 2123, this is La Paz approach. Good morning. Hold position at 8000 at the north of the field due to heavy traffic. I will contact you.
Charlie Papa 123 will comply.
Charlie Papa 2123, maintain holding pattern at La Paz VOR 18000. We still have another aircraft on the runway.
La Paz Station, please, Charlie Papa 123, request priority to land due to a long taxi time at my departing station, plus headwinds in the way. Due to safety reasons, I request priority to land as soon as possible.
Okay, Charlie Papa 2123, now you are clear flight direct to Uzbek position. You are clear for RMP X-ray approach from La Paz and report on final.
Charlie Papa 123.
Okay, thank you so much. So now that we finished the role play situation, the evaluation has finished. So we thank you for your participation in the AEPT test, and the results will be announced to you in the next 48 hours. So you will be informed and the certificate will be issued to you.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Have a nice day.
Same, thank you.